Travel around the world with Crypto Trading Bot. I am now driving from Piazza Arbriano to Agrigenta now. It's raining, but it's a nice drive and it's a beautiful mountainous scenic area. See you guys soon. It's still raining. Some of the places are having a bit flood. Be careful. Hi, I'm now in Modica. I just reached here last night. It's a beautiful place. It's an old town set in the medieval days. And the streets of Modica has got a very beautiful old charm. Houses here all in the 16th, 17th centuries. It's a beautiful town. Weather is very cold now, and it's beautiful. You can see from my scenery here, the houses here are very nice. Beautiful. It's really beautiful. So before dinner, I shall continue about Bitcoin halving, and it's been interesting. So since Bitcoin inception in 2009, Bitcoin have already gone through two halvings. So again in 2009, the Bitcoin halving reward starts at 50 Bitcoins per block. And 4 years later in 2013, the reward gets cut into half, from 50 to 25 Bitcoin per block. And again in July 2016, it gets cut from half, from 25 to 12.5. And next year, the third halving will occur, where the block reward on Bitcoin will get slashed by another 50% from today's 12.5 Bitcoin to 6.25. I think the halving that is built into the software is really genius, because at the end of the day, it is just mimicking how gold works in a physical world. Think about the gold rushes we've had in the 19th centuries and even earlier. Then that across Australia and America, and back then you can be a guy with a shovel and you can probably do pretty well for yourself. But industry have become so commercialized and competitive that it takes heavy machinery, and you've got to dig super deep right now because pretty much of the Earth's surface has already been scratched. Now that we have on the topic of price, I want to share with you my personal price prediction for Bitcoin, as well as some tips on how to profit from Bitcoin halving, which is coming up in May 2020. A quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not a financial advice. This is just my own thoughts and opinion. So what does halving got to do with Bitcoin pricing predictions? I, like many in the industry, believe that Bitcoin's halving every 4 years tends to be a major catalyst that kicks Bitcoin into the next bull cycle. If you think about it's purely from a supply and demand point of view, again, this tap of Bitcoin is slowly being turned off. But while at the same time, on the demand side, even if you look at the underlying technology and if you look at the wallet growth on the actual Bitcoin network, we can measure adoption, and we are seeing an increase. And when you have that combination of increasing limit and supply with increasing demand, the only thing that will make sense to happen is for the price to go up. It's just basic supply and demand economics. To recap, the first halving occurred in November 2012, and 1 year later, in 2014, price hit $1,200 with 44,000% gain. After the halving in July 2016, following year Bitcoin hit $20,000, and that's 8,000% gain. And there you have it. The first time we went through that cycle, if you time it right, you make 44,000% gain, which is insane. The second cycle, in 2012 to 2016, if you time that right, you make about 8,000% gain, which is a factor of 5 from 44,000 to 8,000. This third cycle, if we assume the potential gain is cut by another factor of 5 from 8,000 to about 1,600%, then according to my math, that would put a price tag of about $50,000 per Bitcoin in May of 2021. And that is my personal Bitcoin price prediction, $50,000 in 2021.